Hello, and thank you for tuning in again to Stories from Jerusalem podcast. This week is the Holy Week for the Orthodox in Jerusalem. We have just finished the Easter for the Catholics, and I recorded last week an episode for this week about the Holy Saturday for the Orthodox, also called the Holy Fire, or in Arabic Sabte Nur, which means the Holy Light. This is a yearly ceremony that takes place inside the Holy Sepulcher church. And in short, what happens is that during the prayer of the Greek-Orthodox Patriarch inside the tomb of Jesus, a miraculous flame appears, and this flame lights the bundle of candles that the Patriarch is holding, and then he distributes this light to the thousands of worshippers in the church, and this light symbolizes the resurrection of Christ. Now, this year, due to the restrictions because of the war with Iran, it is going to be very different because the Holy Sepulcher Church is technically closed. They are probably going to allow only very few people to be inside the church for the Holy Fire, and that makes the local Christian Palestinians very sad. I was very lucky and blessed to find Ghassan Kattoua available to talk about the Holy Fire ceremony. And in this interview, you will learn more about the Orthodox feast of Holy Saturday, or the Holy Fire. So we're sitting here at the Notre Dame Cafe, having a cup of coffee, and I have a local who has the experience with Sabte Nur, the Holy Fire. So we're going to be informed by somebody who has been in the Church of the Holy Sepulchre, seeing that and knowing everything about what we are curious of. Maybe you want to introduce yourself first and tell us a little bit about your background as a Christian family in Jerusalem.
Yeah. I'm Ghassan Kattoua. I was born in 1960. I am from a Christian family who goes back more than 500 years in Jerusalem. This is as far as we know from the celebrations of the Holy Fire on Sabte Nur, because our family it's one of the 13 families who has the right to carry the banners in the Holy Sepulcher Church, and we make the 3 circles around the tomb in front of the Patriarch. And after we finish our 3 circles, the Patriarch goes into the Holy Tomb and he starts the ceremony of getting the Holy Fire.
Okay, let's start from the beginning, because I think there are many people who have never heard about Sabte Nur, which means the Saturday of Light in Arabic, and what is the Holy Fire. So tell us from the very beginning. It is the Saturday between Good Friday and Easter in the Orthodox calendar, right? So what is, first of all, what is Orthodox Christianity?
There are 13 denominations of Christians in Jerusalem. Some of them are older than the others, like the Orthodox Church. It's supposed to be the first church in Jerusalem, which is Mar Yaoub. He was the first archbishop in Jerusalem, and he is the head of our church, the Orthodox Church. Now, there is the Catholic Church, there are the Roman Catholic Church, there are the Syrians, there are the Copts, and there are the Catholic Syrians and the Catholic Copts, and the Anglicans, the Protestants, and the Ethiopians. So all in all, there are 13 denominations of the Christians in Jerusalem or in Palestine, in the Holy Land, as in all.
And the Holy Sepulcher Church, what kind of church is that?
It's called the Mother of Churches. It's the first church which was built in the 4th century by Helena and Constantine, who they digged for the cross of Jesus Christ, and they found the cross in the location where is the church now. It's the holiest place for Christians, because we believe that Jesus Christ was crucified there in the Golgotha, and he was buried in the tomb underneath. And from there, he was risen from the tomb and he met his disciples. First, he met Maria Magdalena in Mar Yaqub Church, next to the Holy Sepulcher Church. There is the location where they met. There is a stone, and in there they met. That's the Church of the Holy Sepulcher.
But if we talk about all these different denominations, then the church, is it a Catholic church? Is it an Orthodox church? What is it?
There are three major denominations that they are ruling the church altogether: the Armenian Orthodox and the Catholic and the Greek-Orthodox. And there are two denominations, the Syrians and the Copts. They have the rights. The Copts, they have a part, the rear part of the Holy Tomb, and the Syrians, they have small chapels there. So five denominations, they are sharing the Holy Sepulcher Church. And the three major ones, they are, again, the Greek Orthodox, the Latin, and the Armenians.
And how do they deal together? Like, how do they know when they can have mass or ceremonies, or when they have the different feasts?
Okay, they had many fights between them, and they solved that during the period of the British Mandate, and there was something which is called the status quo, that everything should be as it was and it should be the same forever. For instance, the Armenians, they opened, by the way, the keys of the Holy Sepulcher Church, it's with the Muslim family, Al-Husseini, and there is Judah. These two families, one is responsible to keep the key, and the other family is the one to open the doors of the Holy Sepulcher. So, for 3 days during the year, the Armenians, they are allowed to open the church, which it's on the Good Friday, and I think the Orthodox on the Holy Saturday, and the Latin, I think, on the Good Friday. So there is something like that between them. I'm not sure of the exact dates when they do open, but I know that one time a year that they open the Church of the Holy Sepulcher as Christians. And they are dealing always together between them. They meet and they speak about any kind of problems that they are. Now, for instance, when they renovated the Holy Tomb, so the Catholics, they agreed for the renovations, and it was done by Greek archaeological team, the renovation of the Holy Tomb. And recently they are renovating all the tiles and the infrastructure, everything, by the Latins, which is supported from Italy.
Yeah, okay. And so this coming weekend, we have the Catholic Easter, so they will have their mass and celebrations, although with the current situation with the war, it seems that it's going to be extremely limited. But then a week after, the Orthodox, how is that possible? Do they use a different calendar?
Yes, there are two calendars, but for Easter, it has nothing to do with the calendars. There are some calculations that they do. I don't have it right now with me, but I have a book which it says the difference between the two Easters, the two different, I will send you a copy. The calendars, it's the Gregorian and the Julian. So the word is following the Gregorian. And for the Orthodox, they are following the Julian calendar. Now, the difference between them are 13 days. But I think in 100 years, it will be 14. And in another 100, it will be 15 because of some, I think it's 48 minutes per year. So every 400 years, there will be 3 days difference.
And okay, so next weekend we have the Orthodox Easter, and then Saturday is the Saturday of the Holy Fire. Describe for us exactly from the beginning to the end what happens on that day.
This year it will be like 2020 by the COVID So what I learned until now from all kind of, either from the church or from the police, that it will be a very limited, only for the clergy, not for the laymen. So nobody is allowed to enter the Holy Sepulcher Church for the ceremony. It will be very limited for the clergy. The patriarch and a few archbishops will be with him, and that's it. There will be no celebration as we used to have in the past. In the past, I can say that in the Holy Sepulcher Church, maybe we had like 5,000 people inside or even more. Many pilgrims, they were coming from Greece, from Cyprus, from Romania, from Georgia, from Russia, all over the world. And before 1967, I was a kid at that time, but I remember that there were pilgrims coming from Syria, from Lebanon, from Egypt, from Iraq, from all Arab countries who had Christians in them, and they were coming to celebrate the Holy Saturday in Jerusalem. And that day it was called by the Feast of Jerusalem. Muslims, Christians, from any denomination, they were coming and celebrating that day.
So what happens in the early morning until the fire? For people who have no clue what holy fire means.
From the early morning, let us say it will start in some Orthodox churches. They have the Holy Mass. The Holy Mass starts like 8 o'clock and it ends like 10:30. So by 11:30, all the priests and the Mukhtar, who is the chief of the community, they start to go out from the churches to meet in the Christian Quarter Street. And there are a big celebration there. So all the shabab of coming from the Christian Quarter, from the residency where they do live, and they come, like singing and holding one each the other, and there are some special songs that they sing, like Ya Adra alayk as-salam, kulla sa'a min az-zaman, Holy Virgin Mary, that all what we want is 1 hour to have the light coming out. So they gather all together with the scouts, and they start marching from Al-Khanqa, which is the Al-Khanqa Mosque, towards the Holy Sepulcher Church. It takes like, walking normally it takes like 3 minutes. By the Holy Saturday, it takes like 20 minutes until we reach the Holy Sepulcher. And as we enter the church, the shabab, they go also with their drums, with their swords, with their candles. They go around the Holy Tomb and they take their location. There are the banners holder. We wait in the Catholicon in the middle of the Holy Sepulcher Church, waiting for the Patriarch to come to start the celebrations. And we are 13 families from Jerusalem. One more family, which is called Slahit. They are the ones who to receive the holy fire, the first to receive the fire. This is, it's by tradition. Yeah. So the 13 families, it's Salman, Ajrab, and Habash, Harami, Katan, Kattoua, Shamma', Qar'a, Mahshi, Abi Zachariah, Mansour, Al-Lushiyya. These are 12, and Abi Zachariah, they have other banner who they carry just behind the Patriarch. So there is a special banner, one which it should go just behind the Patriarch, and all the others, they may vary every year. I can carry any one of them who has the icon of one of the saints. These are the banners that they have the saints on them. And
where do they keep these banners throughout the year? Are they part of the scout groups or the church, or are they really at home with these families?
No, they are in the church, not with the scouts, not with the families. They are in the church, it's called Knisset Nus Dunya, the church of the middle of the world. And they are there all the year long. They use them also in special occasions, but on the Holy Saturday, during the year, some of the priests, they do carry them, but on the Holy Saturday, the 13 families, and some of these families like Mahshi or Alushiya, nobody is coming to carry the banners. And even recently, Katan, the last, I think he just left back to Australia and he is not coming to carry it. And some families, they change the names. So, I'm trying to keep the tradition with the old names. And if anybody is coming to carry instead of anyone else, then we will, I'm asking, because I feel that I'm the banner keeper.
Oh,
yeah.
yeah.
I'm doing that since I was like 18 years. So it's like 50 years that I'm distributing the banners. When I was, like teenager, I was always anxious and to be in the Holy Saturday. But recently, I feel very sad on the Holy Saturday, with the closures, with everything, what's going on.
Yeah. This year is definitely going to be very different. But I think still a lot of people are like, but what is this holy fire? Because now the patriarch came, you walked around the tomb. Now what's going to happen? The patriarch will do what?
To our belief that it's super spiritual thing, that when the patriarchs start praying, the miracle of the holy fire, it should happen every year with the prayers of the patriarch. And there are proofs that it happened not inside the holy tomb. It has been outside of the Holy Sepulcher, because I don't remember which year exactly. There was a fight between Armenians and Orthodox, that the Armenians, they said that the holy fire come to the Armenians, and the Greek-Orthodox, they said, no, this miracle, it happens for the Greek-Orthodox. So the Armenians, they were in power at that time, so they moved the Greek Orthodox outside of the church, and the Patriarchy started praying outside of the Holy Sepulcher, and all of a sudden the miracle happened, and one of the columns at the left side of the entrance of the Holy Sepulcher, it was cracked, and the holy fire appeared from there. So it's a proof that it is a miracle.
So the miracle is that when the patriarch prays a specific prayer, that there will be a light or a fire that he can light his candles on. And then how do they make sure that people don't say, oh, but he's taking some lighter with him, or he has matches with him?
People can say whatever they want, but it is a miracle. And I read an article about one of the Muslim Khalif. He was in Jerusalem, and they said that, okay, they made candles. Instead of using a cotton wick, they put brass wick. So brass does not light. But when the Patriarch took these candles, which they had the brass wick, it lighted. It lighted. So miracle happens, and we don't have to that. We better not lose our faith.
Yeah, oh, absolutely. Especially in these days. But I read somewhere that before the patriarch goes into the tomb, that they actually check him. Did you ever see that happen? Or is that just something that people write down? That even some of the people from the Muslim families that have the keys, and even the Israeli police, that they come and they check around the tomb?
Yes, that's right. The families who have the keys of the Holy Sepulcher, also they seal the Holy Tomb, and they put, like wax on it with a ribbon, and they open it just a few minutes before the Patriarch goes in, and he goes in with a white robe, so he has nothing, no pockets, nothing in there, just the robe on him.
Yeah, I saw a picture. So he doesn't wear all the robes that are ceremonial. It's very simple white robe.
Yeah, a very simple white robe. Yeah.
And then he comes out. I read he's holding two bundles of 33 candles because Jesus was 33.
Before going out, he distribute the holy fire to the Slahit family from the right side of the tomb, and he passed for the Armenians on the left side before he goes out. And
Because there are these holes in the tomb on the side. Oh, I was always wondering what these are for, but these are used to stick out the candles to give the light before he comes out from the tomb. Okay, and then?
So when he gives the light to let us say, to Slahit family, so the priest, he takes the light from Slahit and he runs into the church of the Holy Sepulcher, and then going out to Mar Yaqub Church, St. Jacob Church, and he lights there the oil lamps and the candles, and from there the holy light goes up to the Greek Patriarchate, and from there they start to distribute it to all over the old city, and also it goes abroad by special flights from Tel Aviv to Athens, to Bucharest, to Tbilisi, to all over the world.
Wow, so the same light that came out from the tomb is now distributed among the Palestinian Christians in Jerusalem, in Bethlehem, around, and then also around the world. So as a Christian, you bring this light to your house. Then how long does it burn, or when do you decide to put it out, or you wait until the candle is burned down? How does that happen?
We don't turn it off. Now in the churches, I will talk about Mar Yaqub Church because that's my church. So when we light the oil lamps, we try to keep them always the light on, and if we want to change the wick or to add oil or to do whatever, so we light a candle from that oil lamp, we keep the candle with the same light, and then we change the wick, we change the oil, we change the oil lamp or whatever, and then we use the same light which is on the candle to light it again. So it does not turn off. We don't turn it off. And if it happens that it turned off in the church, we don't use a lighter or we don't use a match. We go to the Holy Sepulcher Church to take the light, or we call it light. We don't call it fire because it does not burn. That maybe you see on the TV sometimes that they take with the 33 candles, it comes, in one bundle, that they put it on their faces and it does not, and they have beards. It does not burn. It's light. It is not fire.
That's why you call it in Arabic Sabt Nur, the Saturday of light, not of nar, fire. Oh, that's really interesting. Sabt Nur, the light. So I understand that the importance is that it's a miracle, but also is there what's the symbolism of it in regarding to the story of Jesus' burial and resurrection?
Yes, when Jesus Christ was resurrected, so there was a light at that time. So the Roman guards, they got, blind from that light. So this is what it symbolizes.
Do you know how far back does this miracle go? When did people already write about this? When did they start seeing this?
Since year 400, which it's 1,600 years that they are celebrating the same thing.
Wow. So this year, because of all the restrictions, are you not going to be able to go into the church?
I hope I can go to the church. I hope. But we don't know what is going on. Last Sunday, the Cardinal Pier Battista Pizzaballa, he was banned to enter the church. But, later they started, to give excuses and about safety and things. Okay, instead of keeping 50 policemen inside the church, take out 15 and bring inside 15. Because there are already 50 inside, so we can switch.
Yeah, that would make more sense. Because in order to go according to the traditional ceremony, you would have to go in with the banners and you would have to receive the fire.
The part, it's okay, going inside with the banners, it's not part of the liturgy. It is just tradition, which it has been like 5 or 100 years that these families, they have the right to go and to celebrate with the banners.
If you remember how it was in COVID, then how did they, during the COVID, distribute the light?
They took it from the Holy Sepulcher Church. They went into the miraculously Church, and from there to the Greek Patriarchate, and from there they gave it to the scouts, the Orthodox scouts, and they distributed all over to other cities in the Holy Land, and the Greek delegation, they took it to the airport and some to the other countries.
Yeah. So maybe in this case, this would be like a scenario that will happen again, that it will be distributed without all the people being able to be present. I want to thank you very much, because I think this was very enlightening if we speak about light. Yeah. For most people in the West, I think they did not know about this event. And I would say you can easily find, if you go to YouTube, some videos. I will post some links in the show notes for some of the videos that you can watch to see this happening. And despite everything, I wish you, I don't know how you say, do you have a greeting for that? A good Sabtinur?
Just Kul Sana Salmin, that's it. Nothing special on Holy Saturday.
Kul Sana Winti Salem.
Winti Salme. And starting from Sunday, we say Al-Masih Qam. We don't greet like good morning or something. We have to greet with Al-Masih Qam until the Ascension.
Oh, really? And for 40 days?
On 40 days, we say just Al-Masih Qam. And, the reply is Haqqan Qam.
Yeah. Okay, I will remember that. When I walk through the Christian quarter in Jerusalem, I will say Al-Masih Qam. Thank you very much.
It's my pleasure. Ahla wa sahla.
And you listeners, thank you all for tuning in again. I hope you enjoyed listening to this episode. I have 2 more episodes coming up. I'm in the final process of editing them. These are the 9 Quarters of Jerusalem tour that I did last year with Matthew Teller, the author of the book by that title. I'm going to upload them in 2 separate episodes because the whole tour we did took a few hours. I edited it into 2 episodes of about an hour each. So you can be expecting that coming up very soon. If you want to support me, especially during this time of war where there is very little work in tourism, please do so by going to my Ko-fi page. I will add the link in the show notes and buy me a cup of coffee or a falafel sandwich. Thank you very much, and I hope you will tune in again next time.